To begin our understanding of the world around us, we must first look at the materials we use daily. We use various materials for our basic needs. Some are found in nature, while others are made by human efforts. We classify these broadly into two categories: natural and man-made.
When we talk specifically about resources obtained from nature, such as air, water, soil, and minerals, we call them natural resources.
However, a critical question arises for us as scientists. Can we use all our natural resources forever? To answer this, we classify natural resources into two distinct types based on their availability. Inexhaustible natural resources are present in unlimited quantities in nature and are not likely to be exhausted by human activities. Examples include sunlight and air. Exhaustible natural resources, however, are limited in amount. They can be completely finished or exhausted by human activities. Examples include forests, wildlife, minerals, coal, petroleum, and natural gas. To explain scarcity, imagine containers filled with popcorn or peanuts representing the total availability of an exhaustible natural resource. We divide consumers into first, second, and third generations. As the population grows, the second and third generations have more people. If the first generation is greedy and consumes everything, nothing is left for the later generations. However, if earlier generations are concerned about those coming after them, they leave something behind. This analogy helps us understand why we must study fossil fuels, coal, petroleum, and natural gas, which were formed from the dead remains of living organisms and are exhaustible. Coal is a fossil fuel that you may have seen. It is hard as stone and black in color. Historically, it was used in railway engines to produce steam to run the engine. Today, it is used to cook food, utilized in thermal power plants to produce electricity, and serves as fuel in various industries. The story of coal is a fascinating geological process. About 300 million years ago, the Earth had dense forests in low-lying wetland areas. Due to natural processes like flooding, these forests were buried under the soil.
As more soil deposited over them, they were compressed.
As they sank deeper and deeper, the temperature rose. Under high pressure and high temperature, these dead plants slowly converted to coal. Since coal contains mainly carbon, this slow process of converting dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. Because it formed from vegetation remains, coal is a true fossil fuel. When coal is processed in the industry, we obtain three chemically distinct and useful products. Coke is a tough, porous, and black substance, an almost pure form of carbon. Its industrial value is immense as it is used in the manufacture of steel and the extraction of many metals. Coal tar is a black, thick liquid with an unpleasant smell. It is actually a mixture of about 200 substances. We use products from coal tar to make synthetic dyes, drugs, explosives, perfumes, plastics, paints, and photographic materials. Surprisingly, even the naphthalene balls used to repel moths come from coal tar. Nowadays, bitumen, a petroleum product, is used instead of coal tar for surfacing roads. Coal gas is obtained during the processing of coal to get coke. It was historically used for street lighting, as seen in London in 1810. Today, it is primarily used as a source of heat rather than light. It serves as a fuel in many industries located near coal processing plants.
While coal powers industries, our transport sector relies heavily on another resource, petroleum, often called black gold. Light automobiles like motorcycles and cars use petrol, while heavy motor vehicles like trucks and tractors run on diesel. Both petrol and diesel are obtained from a natural resource called petroleum, a name derived from petra, meaning rock, and oleum, meaning oil. Petroleum is mined from between rocks under the earth, and its formation process is distinct from that of coal. It was formed from organisms living in the sea. As these organisms died, their bodies settled at the bottom and were covered by layers of sand and clay. Over millions of years, in the absence of air and under high temperature and pressure, these dead organisms transformed into petroleum and natural gas. When drilling for these resources, the layer containing petroleum, oil, and gas is found above water because oil and gas are lighter and do not mix with it. The world's first oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania, USA, in 1859, and in India, oil was struck in Makkum, Assam, in 1867. In India, oil is found in Assam, Gujarat, Mumbai High, and the Godavari and Krishna River basins. Crude petroleum is a dark, oily liquid with an unpleasant odor and is not used in its raw form. It is a mixture of various constituents such as petroleum gas, petrol, diesel, lubricating oil, and paraffin wax. The process of separating these various constituents or fractions is known as refining, carried out in a petroleum refinery. LPG is used as fuel for homes and industry, while petrol serves as motor fuel, aviation fuel, and a solvent for dry cleaning. Kerosene fuels stoves, lamps, and jet aircraft. Diesel powers heavy motor vehicles and electric generators. Lubricating oil is used for lubrication, and paraffin wax finds use in ointments, candles, and Vaseline. Bitumen is utilized for paints and road surfacing. Many useful substances obtained from petroleum and natural gas are termed petrochemicals. These are used to manufacture detergents, fibers like polyester, nylon, and acrylic, and plastics such as polythene. Hydrogen gas, obtained from natural gas, is even used to produce fertilizers like urea. Because of its great commercial importance, petroleum is widely known as black gold. Natural gas is a very important fossil fuel because it is easy to transport through pipes. It is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas, or CNG. CNG is used for power generation and increasingly as a fuel for transport vehicles because it is less polluting and cleaner than petrol or diesel. A major advantage of CNG is that it can be used directly for burning in homes and factories supplied through pipes. Such pipeline networks exist in Vadodara, Gujarat, and parts of Delhi. India has vast reserves of natural gas found in Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and the Krishna Godavari Delta. Understanding these vital resources helps us appreciate their impact on our daily lives and global energy landscape.
Welcome, students, to an important discussion about our planet's most vital resources: coal, petroleum, and natural gas. A common question is whether these fossil fuels can be created in a lab from dead organisms. The scientific answer is a clear no. Their formation is an incredibly slow process, requiring specific conditions like high pressure, high temperature, and millions of years, which cannot be replicated artificially. We must face the reality that these resources are inherently limited. Fossil fuels are exhaustible, meaning they will eventually run out. While it took dead organisms millions of years to convert into these fuels, our known reserves will last only a few hundred years more. This creates a significant disparity between the time it takes to create the fuel and the alarming speed at which we are consuming it. Beyond scarcity, there is the critical issue of environmental health. The burning of these fossil fuels is a major cause of air pollution. Furthermore, their extensive use is directly linked to the pressing global challenge of global warming. Therefore, it is absolutely necessary that we use these fuels only when absolutely essential, prioritizing their judicious application. Using them judiciously results in a better environment, a smaller risk of global warming, and ensures their availability for future generations. In India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association, or PCRA, actively advises people on how to save petrol and diesel while driving. These are practical, actionable tips that we should all learn and teach to everyone around us. First, drive at a constant and moderate speed as far as possible to maximize your fuel efficiency. Second, switch off the engine at traffic lights or when you have to wait. Idling wastes fuel unnecessarily. Third, ensure correct tire pressure. Low tire pressure increases friction and significantly boosts fuel consumption. Finally, ensure regular maintenance of your vehicle. A well-maintained engine burns fuel much more efficiently. By understanding the limited nature of these resources and the millions of years required to create them, we appreciate why conservation is not just a suggestion, but a necessity. To wrap up our lesson, let's review the key takeaways about fossil fuels. Fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, and natural gas are exhaustible resources. They form from the dead remains of living organisms over millions of years. Coal provides us with valuable byproducts such as coke, coal tar, and coal gas. Petroleum refining yields essential products like petrol, diesel, kerosene, and many more. Remember, these resources are limited, so we must use them carefully to prevent future energy crises. By conserving, we also significantly reduce pollution and protect our environment for generations to come. Thank you for learning about the importance of conserving our exhaustible resources. Your actions today shape tomorrow.